Tell us who's in the band and what do they play?
The Seismics. Well, I started the band. My name's John Mojeski, aka Lost Johnny. And on bass, we have Mike Johnson. He's one of the original guys that joined. And on drums, Talbot Guthrie. And on rhythm guitar and some leads is John Vigneault. He joined more recently. Original guitar player Jack McDonald. He's been leaving the country. He lives on a sailboat in Sausalito, and he sails all the time. And he'll get hired to bring a boat from Hawaii to the Bay Area, so he'll sail and think it's going to take 2 weeks, and it takes a month, and it's a crazy, harrowing experience that he'll record on a diary for Captain's Diary, and then he most recently took off for like 3 or 4 months to go to South America and ride motorcycles. So he's just been leaving so much that we got another guitar player to fill in. And that guy's great too. It's he brings a bunch of new ideas and stuff, and he's got songs that he's written. So Jack's not out of the band. He's just kind of MIA a lot, and keeps being able to progress sometimes.
Yeah, I can see that, sure. All right.
And Marina's been playing percussion with us on some songs.
Yeah. What kind of percussive instruments do you play, Marina?
I'm playing claves on the guitar.
Okay.
Yeah, she's playing claves on our spaghetti western song, Brave the Storm. So.
Okay, yeah, that's on the one. Have to check the playlist here. Cool. So, anything else about the history of the band you want to add? Like what started it, what inspired it, and what state of mind were you in?
Well, it was 2016.
Okay.
And I was in Texas watching a country band, and you could tell, they used to be punk guys. They had tattoos and piercings and dyed black hair, and they got older and they started a country band.
Okay.
And I thought, like, oh well, if I started a country band, it would be a surf band because I live at the ocean. They live in Texas, so country makes sense. I wouldn't feel comfortable in a cowboy hat. So it's kind of how it started. There's a lot more to it than that, but I'll spare you the long details.
All right, fair enough. So give us a little rundown on your gear, guitars and amps and all that good stuff.
Well, when I started the band, we didn't have a lot of money, so I just bought a Silvertone guitar and a Fender amp. I had my neighbor. I lived next to him for years, and he was a limo driver from Vietnam or something, and chain smoked, and I never knew much about him. And then he was moving, and he said, "Hey, I have this amplifier. Do you want it?" It was a 1960 Fender concert amp, and it smelled like cigarette smoke.
Yeah.
That eventually went away, and I had the amp dialed in and got a reverb tank and used that. But now, since then, I've acquired. I got a Vibrolux reverb and for smaller amp for certain gigs, and different size amps for different gigs. I have a couple twin reverbs. I don't have a dual Showman or anything like that. I've played on them and they're pretty amazing. But
sure. What did you use on the record?
The record. Well, I started with the Silvertone. It was always going out of tune, and it was really fun to play. Actually, it had a really unique sound, and Jack got a Gretsch, and not very surfy usually those combinations, but then since then I got a Jazzmaster, like a 65 reissue that was an Aztec Gold, 2017. It's really great. It has an amazing tone. I have a couple baritone guitars. I have a Dana Electro baritone. We like to, play baritones. We started off learning probably like 60 surf covers for a couple years, and we would do 3 or 4 5-hour shows. You can always repeat the first set at the end, 'cause the same people aren't there anymore.
Yeah.
So that was really fun. Back then, I feel like we were all playing really well. And, yeah, so on the albums, we used Jazz Masters and Jaguars and even Strats. I have some Strats now that I really like the sound. I just don't like the tremolo as much as the offset guitars.
Okay.
Yeah, and baritones and yeah.
So going back to those early, like when you did all the covers, did you find you got more gigs when you did cover tunes as opposed to originals? Or is there a difference?
Well, if we would make the effort to go and drive to a different town and stuff, we wanted to play for 3 or 4 hours.
Oh, okay.
Because it's just, once you set up and, 45-minute sets just go by so fast that it's like you feel like you're just getting warmed up after 45 minutes.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
So we would, we actively were seeking more gigs back then.
Uh-huh.
Now I think we're just kind of focusing on writing and just playing more meaningful, I guess, or not meaningful, or just more, surf crowd kind of shows.
Yeah.
We would do anything. We would go do a car show in Tracy or some of the Bay Area towns around us.
Okay.
Car shows and yacht clubs and barbecues and dive bars and weddings.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, those are always kind of weird because people want to hear songs that way outside of surf, and we can't really take requests unless it's like a surf song usually.
Yeah.
It would be cool if we could just turn anything into a surf song right on.
Yeah, right on the spot. So what's the surf, you mentioned playing in San Francisco, what's the surf scene like there?
Well, actually we never really were, well, now we're kind of playing more of the surf parties than with other bands and stuff, but we've been around for 9 years, going on 9.5 probably now, and up until like 2 years ago, we just kind of kept to ourselves and didn't really get involved in the surf scene anywhere.
Oh, okay.
Just listened to the old music, weren't really aware of too many modern bands, and then just went to Surf 101. And it was super fun, and I saw all these other bands, and then it got really exciting, and so we've kind of trying to participate more in those kind of things. We just recently did the KFJC surf battle in April with a bunch of bands. That was super fun.
Cool. What year did you go to SG 101 for the first time?
Just last year, right?
Oh, was it? Okay.
We went to Winterfest in
It was a winter one, yeah.
2024. Yeah.
That's when you played that one, right?
We
Or
played
was it this year?
This year.
This
yeah,
year,
we played
okay.
this year for Winterfest.
Okay.
So yeah, I went for Winterfest. Had a great time. I loved watching every minute. I didn't even want to miss anything. I wanted to see every band. And
Is
then
that when Slacktone played that year?
in the winter. Yeah, no, I don't even remember.
Oh, okay. That's okay.
Yeah, it was Jimmy Dale and.
Yeah.
And then we did. Then we went to the summer one, and I realized it was even bigger. And there were 2 rooms.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of my friends wouldn't be able to endure that much surf music.
Yeah.
I could just sit there and watch every single.
Yeah. Okay. So that was when we met. You handed me your record.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, the perfect was all that.
Oh yeah. We tried to go the year before, but it was sold out.
Oh. Or the hotel rooms were. Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought it'd be cool if you could get like a network of people host people, kind of like free Airbnb for surf bands. Because that's usually the big expense is your lodging. So when you go down, do you drive or fly?
Just drive. I like to bring my van and set up the van like a green room / car bar.
Oh, okay.
And have a little break. And well, I mean, when we have the room, it's kind of acts as the same thing. But last year for the summer one, they didn't have rooms at the hotel, and you didn't want to have to drive back to the hotel. It was like 10 minutes away or something, or 15 minutes away.
Oh, okay.
And you don't want to have drinks and drive, and, so just having the van there, I could just take a break and go and hang out in the van and.
All right. Well, if you have that this year, are you coming this year?
Yeah, we're gonna drive.
Okay, cool. I'll be there too.
I usually set up a little record player, bring some albums, buy some albums, listen to them in the van, go back in and watch the bands.
All right, we'll have to hook up out there and check that out.
I want to set up a little tiki bar.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Well, so go back. How did in your history? How were you introduced to surf music?
Well, probably as a teenager. My friend's dad, he was a classical violinist, but he played in like a band. I grew up in Vegas, and he played in like a Vegas style band.
Like a show band?
Yeah, it was like a show band, and he had a great record collection, and Herb Alpert and The Ventures and lots of other instrumental and
Classics.
Yeah, it was. So we would listen to those records, and I probably learned. I learned like Walk Don't Run and Wipe Out on guitar. When I was like 14 or 15.
Nice.
So I always liked the music.
Yeah.
And then one day I was just, let's start a surf band.
Yeah. There you go. How about you, Marina? How did you get introduced to surf music?
I think it was in high school. There was like Mexico. I was living in Mexico City, and there was like in a scene like people wearing like luchadores masks. When I was very young. So those were like very like fun shows to go. It was just like a bunch of teenagers from like 500 like in a very small place. We were just like having fun and like dressing up, and so then I like discovered like later that those guys were playing like covers, and I started just like more like classic sort of stuff.
Sure.
I love all like 60s music and stuff.
Very cool. Do you play any other instruments?
I know how to play a little bit like guitar and keyboard, but I never like even actually like playing for a band. I dance more.
Okay.
She gets hired.
What's that?
She gets hired and asked to go and dance at festivals all over. She's gonna do Funtastic. She's gone and dancing in Japan.
Oh wow. For like what kind of dancing is?
Go dancing.
Oh, okay.
She's
like on stage with the bands?
Yeah.
Okay.
She makes the parties more fun. Everybody wants her there. I'm trying to get her more involved in our band. I'm like, you need to do percussion on more stuff. It's always a bummer when she comes up, plays something, and then has to leave the stage.
Yeah. There you go. So, are you from Mexico?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I moved here in 2018.
Okay. And how did you guys meet? I'm guessing you're a couple.
Yeah, we met pretty much on Instagram, I think.
Oh, no kidding.
Or it's Facebook. Yeah, she's got cool style, and then just started chatting, and we're friends for like years first.
And then Marina, you were on a cover of Jim's CD. Shoot, I meant to get it out before Jim Bailey.
Oh, the Dirty White Boots?
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of my books. Yeah, I've been in a couple of stuff. Oh, I know Louis. He was just like asking.
Louis,
like,
sorry.
Yeah, Louis.
Yeah.
Louis Valley. I mean,
how did that come about?
Because I wear like most of the time like 60s clothes, and I have a big collection of 60s like yoga boots. and he was just like, "Oh, I need like someone like boots and keys like me."
There you go.
Was
Easy
it
enough.
No.
That's right. Moving on. So let's see. What's your musical background? You have training, any kind of formal training like that?
I've taken lessons, nothing really formal.
No.
I've definitely, studied like theory and, still take, lessons like online or watch YouTube videos about theory and
Okay.
some interesting stuff out there. But
Yeah.
nothing,
Right. Not like a class or anything.
well, unlike, I've taken classes.
Okay.
Jack, our other guitar player, he definitely grew up playing cello and doing classical lessons and stuff.
Mhm.
It really shows. He doesn't have to put any effort into playing smoking leads.
No kidding. Wow.
Yeah, it's a shame he doesn't play with us more because he's actually, really good.
Mhm.
He doesn't put any effort into it. I put a ton of effort into it, and
Yeah.
it's kind of one of those guys that's effortless.
Yeah.
But I think that's from doing it as you're a kid and being able to go from cello to guitar and just being great at it.
Yeah. So then, how do you write songs? Is it a group effort, collaboration? What does the songwriting look like?
It's usually someone will just bring an idea to the band, and often they might almost be complete. Like I think most of this stuff is just, I've written most of the stuff, but Jack has some songs and Johnny has some songs. The new guitar player. So we have a couple where it's been I'll write a rhythm part and everything, and then Jack might come in and do the lead or something. But mostly we just kind of bring our ideas nearly complete. Or I might add like a third part to a song that Jack's missing. He's like, "Oh, I give up. I can't. I got two parts. Write a third part."
Okay.
Like that. Right.
That's cool. Is there an environment or setting that helps inspire you to write?
I actually like to drive my van to the ocean and sit on a cliff, and I'll bring a loop pedal. I'll plug everything in, bring some snacks, and have riff ideas. Put it on the loop pedal, and then just play leads over it for basically hours. Stare at the ocean, and then as I'm playing the leads over it, I'll record it on my iPhone in memos, and then I can listen to it while I'm driving or commuting to work, and then I'll say, "Oh, this 15 seconds right here is good. Oh, right here," and then I'll go home and I'll focus on those parts that I like, and then I'll just start to condense it down into the best ideas of like a 2-hour jam or something.
Yeah.
Then I'll have to come up with another part to it, and then
Yeah.
sometimes they come out fast, and sometimes it takes a lot of work to kind of keep trying to come up with another part or something.
Yeah.
I don't usually ever use another song to launch off of. I just kind of try and come up with my own ideas out of thin air kind of thing. Even though if it's something that I'll play and I'll be like, "Oh, it sounds like that song," but I still kind of came up with it on my own.
Okay. Yeah. Marina, do you write any music?
Not really.
You're working on this project.
No, I was like having like a little like power club play with a friend, but we haven't finished it. Just for fun, like for a couple yeah. I mean, we haven't put anything out or anything. We just like jamming and having fun.
What's the name of the band?
We don't have a name.
Oh.
It's just me and like my friend, like Matt. Yeah.
Got it.
We actually just started a band project. It's a psychedelic cumbia.
Oh wow. Okay.
So far, our band name is basically just the Seismics in Spanish. Los Terremotos. The earth movers.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can see that. All right.
Wigs. Yeah. But
So you mentioned the ocean. Do you surf? Did you?
yeah. I mean, I grew up, going to the ocean and body surfing and boogie boarding, and then I surf, but I'm not great at it. I have a surfboard. I go out like with my neighbors, and usually just end up floating around if I can't catch any waves. But it depends, because our beach out here is pretty intense. Like you can die there.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah, Kelly's Cove on Ocean Beach. It's like, I mean, if you go to YouTube, you can look up Great White Shark Ocean Beach, and you can see footage of surfers that have GoPros, and a 12-foot great white shark will swim by them, or you see a shark breach next to some surfers. There's never been any attacks, but they're out there, So it's just when I go to Costa Rica, I can surf every day, and the waves are really easy.
Okay.
But out here, it's kind of unpredictable, so they can be really huge, and you have to get out of the way, or
not for beginners.
Yeah, so I am, I can go to easier spots and have a lot more luck.
Sure.
But I'd like to go out here because I can just walk down to the beach. I'm like a couple blocks away.
Oh, wow. Very cool. And then you mentioned working on music when you drive to work. What kind of job do you have?
I work on, I do molds and casting and faux finishing. I just do props for this company for their stores.
So it's like sculptures?
No, they'll acquire statues and really cool artifacts, and they'll say, reproduce this, make a mold out of it. I want 6 of them for this gallery we're doing, or whatever. And then I'll make them, cast them, but then I'll have to paint them to look old. So it looks like the original or whatever they want.
Oh, fascinating. So do you make like sand castings, or how do you make the casting?
No, it's just like with like silicone and plaster mother molds and stuff. Sand casting is like for like
metal, isn't it? Okay, yeah, that's my world. So, what about you, Marina? What kind of work do you do?
Boring job. I have my own business in Mexico City. I do security for Starbucks and Domino's, all these chains. I'm kind of like ADD.
So do you have staff?
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I have 8 employees.
Oh, wow. Very cool.
Yeah, I mean, that's good because I can like travel and work from home.
Yeah. Then you're out of danger. All right. So tell us about the Lost Summer LP. What inspired it?
Well, we had already been a band for like 5 years, and maybe 4.5 years or something. And I kept trying to bring song ideas to the band. And at that point, everyone was just so amped on learning covers that it was hard to bring an idea to the band when they want to learn Pink Panther, or there's so many good surf songs out there that it was really hard to get any ideas back then. So then lockdown happened, and finally, for the first time, we weren't playing like 2 to 4 shows a month, which actually is pretty time consuming when you have a full-time job. So, I mean, we got to the point where we didn't even have to practice anymore because we were playing so many shows, and some of those shows were 3 hours, so we would already play through our 50, 60 covers. And then finally I had a break, so then I just wanted to, I basically just kind of wrote the Lost Summer, because it was lockdown, so instead of the endless summer, you've got the Lost Summer. You don't know how long it's going to go on. And I just took all of my experience from the 60 songs that we played, and I tried to write a spaghetti western and a Hawaiian tune, and tried to go through all the
genres.
All the different, spy song, classic 145 kind of stuff.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
and then I got a little experimental and weird. I don't even know if it's like surf, but we didn't want to like stay totally necessarily true to the original classic surf style. I mean, try to, but didn't want to feel limited by that. It just figure if it sounds beachy and makes you want to drink a cocktail in the sun, then you succeeded or something.
Yeah, it's got a good sound. What was the one that you said was experimental?
Probably the Rising Tide, because it's just kind of doesn't necessarily sound like a surf song. It sounds like some kind of suspenseful soundtrack to some moment in a movie or something. I don't know, but to me, I don't know. I don't know. Everyone will interpret it differently, but it was really kind of for me. I was like, is this even sound surf? Should we even put this on the album? But then it was just so kind of weird to me. Let's throw it on there.
So that's on the B-side. I'll have to give that a listen.
Yeah, and actually, I don't even like to bring it up because no one likes to bring up lockdown anymore. That behind us. But every song on there is an innuendo that relates to the pandemic. Like it starts with Landlocked, which is lockdown.
Okay.
And then Next Wave, that's next wave of COVID, but also Next Wave, The Rising Tide was actually kind of a reference to like when all the stuff was going down with George Floyd and there was like this rising tension in the country. Every song on there, Vitamin C, SED.
I was going to ask about that one. Yeah.
It's vitamin C, stay healthy, But, cool. So.
What about Surfin' in Place?
Shelter in Place.
Okay.
It's like very, it reminded me of there was that story about the paddleboarder in LA. Do you remember that?
No.
It's a paddleboarder, and he was being chased by the police or the Coast Guard, and they were chasing him. He was paddling, and they because he was supposed to be in lockdown, but he's
right.
So I was kind of thinking of that moment.
Okay. That's funny.
And actually, Revenge of the Tiger was this is really ridiculous. Is that the Tiger King, whatever it was, that TV show that everyone was watching.
Oh yeah.
Everyone started watching that stupid TV show because there was nothing else to do. I didn't really watch it. I watched a little bit, and I was just like, I hate these things. Like, what? Revenge of the tiger's gonna eat the guy, that's just kind of, but also it kind of was, I was kind of thinking about how there were these stories, and I know a lot of them were not true, but the idea of it, that like all of the humans were indoors and none of the traffic was going on. So there were instances of, a 9 to 5, usually 9 to 5, like when life was happening before the pandemic, there would be cars and people in the street, but everyone was gone, all the cars were gone, and there was coyotes roaming the streets of San Francisco in the financial district in the middle of the day.
Oh, there literally were.
Yeah, there were. Yeah, so that's why I put a coyote on the cover of the album. Yeah,
I was going to ask what that was represented.
Yep, it's a coyote in the streets of San Francisco, and there's the ocean with the washed
surfboard.
Where are the people? I don't know. Maybe that guy's washed away.
Okay.
And I kind of used the colors from the Endless Summer cover, but also it's I forget what I was going to say, but
it's okay. Who was the artist?
I kind of mostly designed I kind of drew the cover out, and then I had my friend Eric Lindsay from the neighborhood go over it, clean it up, tighten everything up, and give his rendition of it.
Oh, cool.
He put the patterns in there. I wouldn't have thought about that. There's little patterns inside the shapes going on.
Yeah, I did notice that when you look closely. Is it painted or digital? How did he?
It's digital. I handed him a painting, but I probably have it around this. Actually, I do. All right, watch this.
All right. Breaking news.
It's really rough, but
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Very cool. So what's next for the band? New material, vinyl, shows?
well, we have a single coming out for Bombing Down Balboa. That's a street that I live on. It kind of leads out to the ocean, and there's non-stop skateboarders on it, like every day.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'll bomb down it on my bike or my Vespa or whatever. And Jack wrote Bombing Down Balboa. He is a skateboarder. I never got into skateboards as much because I grew up in Vegas, so I got a motorcycle when I was 8. So it was kind of skateboards seemed boring to me after motorcycles.
Yeah, I can see that.
So he bombs down Balboa often. So
got it.
he wrote the song, and everybody in the neighborhood loves it. We got the local movie theater up the street to Marina had the connection for that. She knows everybody.
Yeah.
The movie theater changed their marquee to say the Seismics bombing down Balboa, and it's on Balboa. It's called the Balboa Theater.
Okay.
So it was really kind of meta.
Yeah, very. So that's on. You have that on Bandcamp right now, right?
Yeah, it's on Spotify. It's on all the streaming platforms.
Okay. Is it gonna be vinyl? Is that?
Yeah, it's gonna be a single with 2 songs.
Oh, okay.
Bombing Down Balboa and Point of No Return. I wrote the Point of No Return song. Jack wrote Bombing Down Balboa. I was trying to come up with a song that had the intensity of his song. And I actually wrote it based on his captain's diary from sailing from Hawaii to the Bay Area. I was reading it in suspense, and I was like, wow, he's in the middle of the Pacific garbage patch, and trash is getting caught around his propeller, and he has to dive off the side of the boat and clean the propeller in the middle of the ocean to keep going, and storms are coming. And then I'm watching this. They have the tracker, so you can see on the GPS tracker the trail of the ship, of the boat that he's on. And he's talking about how it was like pitch black and that you couldn't see anything, but then there might be a moment where you can see some bioluminescent creatures, and suddenly it's being followed by dolphins, and talking about the storms when there's huge waves and the blackness. And I was like, wow, I was like, Point of No Return. I wrote this kind of intense, kind of spy-inspired tune.
Yeah. When's the vinyl going to come out?
Probably in the next month and a half.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to get the test pressing any week now.
Nice. Will you have them at SG101?
I'm not sure. I'll email them. I'm hoping, maybe.
Yeah. Tell them to put a rush on it.
We tried to get it sooner, but it was so, like, our bass player hardly checks his email, and the artist, we would have a little change, and just having a tiny change on the album, it would end up throwing another couple weeks on the just dragged it on. And, I was hoping to have it already.
Yeah, I had one record. We had the pressing plant like FedEx because we pressed them in Czech.
Yeah, that's where I was.
Okay, yeah. And they sent us like 50 of them real fast. And I said, yeah, you can delay their other ones, but I need these for a show. So maybe they can expedite a handful of them.
Yeah, I would like to take them to Surf by Surfwest.
Are you going to that?
Yeah, we're playing.
Oh yeah, duh. I'll be there.
Oh, okay. Great.
Yeah. I should have this issue ready by then too.
Cool.
So, yeah, I'll have to hustle.
We have I think it's pretty much official now, but we got some mariachis for Marina. Found mariachis in Seattle that are going to join us on stage.
Oh, that'll be great.
4 songs.
Yeah. Do you know? Are you playing indoors or out? Do you know?
We're playing the last band outdoors.
Oh, okay.
So I think we play at 9 p.m.
Okay.
Hopefully it's not too cold. I don't know if Seattle's anything like San Francisco.
It'll probably be pretty nice this time of year.
Yeah, it sounds fun.
Yeah. Awesome.
We're
Very
gonna
cool.
We're gonna play in Portland the night before.
Oh, good deal. All right, so like personal level, what does surf music mean to you?
It's you know, it still has like an innocence that you know, is missing from a lot of today's music. Like a calmness, you know, there's no lyrics to get in the way. You can have it on in the background and it's not too distracting, but it's also, you know, a nice peaceful sound. But then also it's very diverse because you can have like, you know, surf music, but it's also like, you know, spy, but then, you know, there might be a band that's, you know, putting punk and prog into it or something. There's so many different directions you can take it. I feel like it has a lot more freedom than like country or blues, like those other kind of standard type of music.
Yeah. Very cool. What about you, Marina?
I guess I just like the dancing. So you can be like very chill, you can be like just relaxed, like cool, like you can just be like at home, just relaxing, working, playing, and like, or you can just like good dance.
Sure. So then what do you see, so you mentioned like the variety of styles, what do you think is the future of surf music?
Well, I don't know. I guess I have a bleak outlook on the future. No, I'm just living the now. The future of surf music, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what AI means to any of this. Like, I try not to, like, even use it at all. Yeah, I just, you know, I feel like I hope that there'll always be somebody holding carrying the torch and having fun with it.
Yeah, definitely. So then what's the band's master, you know, if you're not much into the future, what's the band's master plan? Throw that out there anyway.
Well, I'm very inspired by that band that played on the Titanic. They were all like early 20s. They knew like over 300 songs.
Okay.
And they just kept playing as the ship was going down. So that's I'm just gonna use them as an example.
So you're gonna write the theme song for the collapse of society?
Yeah, pretty much. Just try and play calming sounds for everyone as the society unravels.
Okay. That is pretty bleak. All right. So let's see then. One last question. What kind of legacy do you want to leave with your music?
Just trying to challenge myself to write the best songs that I can do, and I hope somebody likes them. I don't really have any. I definitely put a lot into it, and I put a lot of heart into it. That's all.
Yeah, sure. That's good. Self-expression.
As long as someone, you know, likes it still and listens, and you know, I have, you know, like there's people around town, and one guy who just loves, you know, he loves our band and loves a couple of the songs specifically. Like he keeps playing these same two songs over and over again, and keeps giving him. I think he alone is making them rank differently on Spotify.
Nice.
I just, you know, I like it. You know, when someone tells me like, oh, you know, I really love your music. I listened to it when I did this, or I have it on my playlist from my Tiki album. You know, Tiki.
Yeah.
Listen to it by the pool. People love it. So
Sure.
that's good enough for me.
There you go. How about you, Marina? Want to leave a legacy with your music?
I mean, I'm not really like write anything, but probably just like a little bit of joy in people, because like right now everything is so negative that it's like the way to just like not think about it, and then if you can do a little bit of that to other people. So that's like the best part for me.
I like it. All right, is there anything you'd like to add in closing?
In closing, surf's up.
There we go.
Please join our Patreon page to get special behind-the-scenes footage and segments exclusive to Patreon, YouTube updates, also a sneak peek of what's coming next week, merch, and also services, free flash drive exclusively for segments in the band.